So mobile ads might be the bane of my existence. I mean, in my past few years I've had this channel, I've not shut up about them. Big Mobile will not silence me. I will keep talking about it. It's quite shameful that whenever you open up a game on your phone or like anything, there's just a barrage of these ads that are full of gross material or they're misleading. Like, what is going on with this one? We have a zombie outbreak starting with a fart. And it just raises a lot of questions like, why are there so many? Do they work? Is there some sort of deeper psychological hacking going on? Or is it actually not that complicated and it's just that these companies keep paying freaky animators to promote their game? Well, to get some answers, I decided to put myself through a little bit of light torture. So I rounded up 1,000 terrible ads from many different sources, and then I sat down with, you know, some snacks, some healthy refreshment that's not banned in other countries, and watched these over the course of 10 hours. And by the end of this, my brain was nearly fried, but I did have answers. Got the lights in here set up so that way I think it's daylight the whole time, because I feel like that'll be subconsciously soothing to the mind. I began my journey, starting off strong, thinking this was going to go well. But then ad 1 played and my confidence turned to dread. Billie Eilish? Did she just shit on the floor? Ad 1 and my hope was already gone. The first 20 videos were off to a horrible start and I felt my eyeballs trying to stage a coup to leave my head. I saw a variety of things. Is that Butcher?
Oi.
Why is Butcher a minion? And an unexpected Shane Dawson reference, as there was an ad where someone adopted a cat and then that cat became their girlfriend. And while all the ads I just mentioned were horrible, it was honestly kind of fun watching all of them and it wasn't that bad to sit through. However, by ad 40, my ears were in distress. Get me out of here. Most of these ads are overloaded with sound effects of farts, screaming, and money sound effects. And most of the time, the characters in the ads didn't even speak. But if they did speak, it was a high-pitched voice, or really commonly, it was AI and not actual voice acting.
You can merge ordinary cars into higher level cars. And finally, you can merge into police cars.
Okay, I don't get why it just said you can merge it into a police car when the ad literally uses a police car to merge into the police car. Okay. Makes you question if a human was involved in any part of these projects.
Game. Seriously, it's so entertaining. I'm like,
this voiceover makes me wish I was dead.
I hate it here. Play game for free. Get much money brains need to be used. Wow.
Why do I even record? I could just do that instead. I sat through 30 more horrible ads, and by ad 72, I felt reality setting in. What started as a fun little viewing session quickly turned into frustration. No, you know, I'm gonna take up like reality shifting or something. I can't do this anymore. There were a few things I noticed the ads had in common. One, a lot of them had extreme displays of emotion. If a character was angry, they were literally red with steam coming off of them. If they were sad, there were enough tears to flood a village. And I think that this was so that way the ad would grab your attention more. It's a bit more interesting, I guess, than if it's just a non-expressive face. A lot of the ads also have questions or challenges to the player. There's the classic expression they use, harder than you think. Or, you know, an ad like this where it says, can't reach charger. But by far the weirdest one I saw, and probably the worst placement of the harder than you think text, was this one ad where it says, this cucumber is harder than you think. What are we doing here? What do you mean? And I also noticed that the ads were not that creative. They all recycle the same formats from each other. There's the ads that are terribly animated, containing sus or sketchy material, typically involving farts and lots of stink. There's also ads that are just showing gameplay and literally nothing else is added. Like nothing else except for a really, really bad screen recording. Sometimes they don't even have sound. They are the last games you would say, you know what? Let's let the mechanics of this thing speak for itself. I mean, here we have Fart Assassin, Biggly Jiggly, Badonkadonk, doing a bit of an unconventional 360 no-scope. Badonkadonk, booty, Biggly Jiggle. Just carrying out fatality after fatality. And then here's a homeless simulator which feels a little low even for these games. Another ad we have here is the money printing simulator. Me when I print money. It's every day, bro. With that money printing flow. For legal reasons, I obviously don't condone printing money, okay? Then there's also a type of ad where the player is completely incompetent and they can't do anything right. And then at the end, there's this big fail text slapped on the screen. Now, another type of ad that exists is one where they use this person you've never seen before, or they actually use AI to generate a person. Like that's not a real person. I don't know what the f she's doing, but she is not playing this game.
Pineapples. Pineapples in chat. Let's go. Pineapples in chat.
Pineapples in chat. Pineapples in the chat, guys.
Second pineapple! Let's go!
Comment pineapple right now. Pineapple in chat. It's like the companies know that using influencers is a way to be relatable, but they can't find a single soul who wants to actually play it, so they had to make up people. And then of course there are the ads that just try to get by on copyright infringement alone, in some attempt to speedrun getting sued. Oh my god, guys, it's Teddy. It's Honky Wonky. Guys, it's Honky Wonky. They've added Honky Wonky to Fortnite. Hold on, I need to go back. So they have a Titan, Poppy Playtime character, the worm from Dune, Amanda the Adventurer. Are those? Oh my god. Those are purple Honky Wonkies. It was easy to categorize the ads into different types, but across all the types, they had one thing in common. Even if the ad had zero gameplay and they never showed what their game actually looked like, the ad made it clear that they were advertising something that was interactive. I continued watching ads and I get to ad 189. I found I was overstimulated. I started feeling mad, agitated at the human race, thinking, how could anyone be dumb enough to actually click? And then I figured out something. A powerful way to get clicks, which is the main thing that these ads are after, is to generate an emotional response in the viewer. And frustration or upset is a powerful state to target. As mentioned earlier, lots of them have players being horrible at the game, so that way you'll watch on, mad, you know, the player is so stupid. Invest in Netflix. This bonehead. Now he's broke. Wah wah. Boo-hoo. The answer is just within reach. It's tempting. And for some reason, the ones that have the fail text, like 70% of the time, also have a text-to-speech AI voice somewhere in there.
OMG, the boss.
To be honest, I'm kind of starting to ship it.
You are the light in my dark life. Oh, darling dearest, I love you.
After the ads that showed lobotomized players, or, you know, your ranked teammates, whenever I saw one with a player that could actually play the game, it didn't feel so bad. It felt satisfying. It's like calming. I don't know. It's calming me. I noticed something in me. After watching so many of these, my tolerance definitely changed. And I got to this ad, and I thought, you know, maybe that's actually not a bad ad at all. Honestly, I don't think this ad is that bad. I thought that about this ad. Clearly something was going on here. Do the ads have the capability to brainwash you? Are there subliminal messages in them? Or was it just that I stupidly sat down to watch over 300 of them in a row? And I keep on watching ads. And you don't stop. Go out to the parking lot, something, and you keep on eating cars. Yeah, it's probably that. But still, this gave me some insight. When you're an avid iPad child mobile game player, you know, the target audience of these ads, and you're used to seeing these, your standards have been worn down, like a psychological war of attrition. This is all you know. So who cares how garbage it is, as long as it gets your attention? A safe prediction for them to make, with the audience they're going for, is that everybody generally has a low attention span, and whatever they're doing on their phone that led them to see the ad in the first place is already competing for that very limited attention slot. So they have to be bold and they have to be simple, which leads to many adopting the unfortunately winning strategy of garbage, slightly sus, age rating defying ads. So he's just crunching on some toes there and I don't even know what she's doing. I wanna join them. Someone's usually getting caught cheating. Usually they show horribly unhealthy relationships where someone's gonna get smacked at some point. And a lot of people are about to have babies. And in a lot of them, someone has to pee. Okay, it's gonna be this company again. Okay, he's going for a piggyback ride, and where are they finding these animators? Who was doing this? The men are portrayed as barbaric with no sense of morality, and the women are treated like prizes or objects to be won. Pretty much the last thing you'd want to be showing a bunch of, like, iPad toddlers. On my journey to watch 1,000 horrible ads, at ad 500, I started getting very tired. It had been over 4.5 hours. I was so tired that I started to have unhinged, irrational thoughts. No, I think we need to make the Hunger Games real. I'm tired of this. I'm tired, okay? I'm done here. I'm done. I quit, okay? I quit being a normal participant of society. We just take a bunch of sharks, put laser beams on top of their heads, and just release them into society. Better yet, let's just make Sharknado real, okay? Let's take the sharks with laser beams, put them in a tornado, unleash the tornado on the population, particularly Gen Alpha, and then just, I don't know, also make them do the Hunger Games as well? I seemed to be genuinely surprised that infants don't spawn in with, like, maximum brain capacity. I mean, clearly I myself did not, since we're here in the first place. At ad 612, everything stopped being remotely funny, or even slightly entertaining. I just wanted everything to stop. Then fittingly, at ad 666, I found myself slightly tempted to get one of these games. That looks... I kind of want to play it. The Devil one. I mean, at this point, I was bored out of my mind. I needed dopamine, just a little shred. Just a shred of a positive neurotransmitter would have freed me from my mental anguish. I need dopamine. I need enrichment. Where is my enrichment time? Where's the enrichment? And watching someone complete a series of actions like this made me want to do the same. As you go through and complete these tiny little accomplishments, you get that satisfaction of a task completed without having to get up and actually really do anything. Sure, it's hollow and relatively meaningless in the grand scheme of life, but it's something. And this all helped me further understand why these ads are so effective. These lower quality ads most commonly appear on other mobile games or TikTok. If you're already in a state of boredom and are just looking for something to occupy your time, an ad like this popping up can actually be pretty tempting. And the ads that are so gross, they're able to break you out of the repetitive loop of whatever you were just doing and evoke a stronger emotion in you. It makes you feel something, which is better than nothing. At ad 750, there's a dude furiously pooping himself, and at this point, I am so tired. No, honestly, I'd rather be on that couch than doing this right now. I'd rather be, I'd sit there rather than sit through like 200 more of these. I can't. 1,000 may have been overkill. It felt like there wasn't much more to see, and it just starts feeling like psychological torture. No.
Make today a holiday? Approved.
This was such a stupid idea. This was so
all
dumb.
citizens.
This was
Approved.
so dumb. But I, of course, decided to push through and finish what I started. At ad 800, I didn't feel tired anymore. I just felt numb, and I started zoning out a lot. I didn't feel any emotions, like I tried, but there was nothing there. I was just so out of it. About 30 minutes later, the numb feeling passed, and I completely flipped into the opposite end of the emotional spectrum. I started viewing the advertisements as short stories to derive any satisfaction I could from them. And if there was not even an ounce of some sort of narrative going on, I just started making stuff up in my head. And at this point, I sounded like a horrible reaction YouTuber. Oh my god. Plot twist. Insane. She's wanted. There's a suitcase. Oh shit. She better run. She better go. Yes, girl, go down the hole. You dig that trench. Let's go. Let's go. I even started feeling bad for the animals and families being shown, thinking I wanted to help them. Why do I want to help this fugly ass cat? And all of this reminded me of how I felt as a kid. I mean, you could throw whatever trash on TV, and I would be thoroughly entertained. You know, a sponge could fall off of a counter, and that sponge would morph into a mother, sacrificing herself to save her little sponge children. It's like sitting here and watching this awful content devoid of any meaning for over 7 hours straight put me back into that simpler mindset. Eventually I started to wind down, the emotions went away again, until ad 894. Suddenly it just broke me. Why did it sound like that? What the who put that scream in there? Why? And then it dawned on me. I believe the companies are using the strategy of sheer confusion to make you click. And like, what else are you supposed to do? Like, you need to know what the is being advertised here. Now, curiosity is one of the more intense responses we have. We want to know and sometimes need to know how things end. So when you see ads that are attacking your eyeballs or are just deeply confusing, I mean, naturally, you want to know more. I had passed 900 ads watched. There's less than 100 left. So let's see what's in store. And at ad 912, we are blessed visually by a man eating poop out of a toilet. Yummers. Looks yummalicious. Ad 924, there's just 76 left. I was emotionally flip-flopping. Just done. Nothing matters anymore. It's all fake. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. I'm tired. Could I do it? Could I make it through the 1,000 ads? I mean, yeah, obviously, I'm just sitting there watching stuff. It's not like I had to climb Everest or something. So, yeah, I finally did it. I got through 1,000 of them. I just felt relief. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, that's it. Well, that happiness didn't last. I'm relaxed. I'm happy. No, I'm not happy. I'm like, yeah. And after doing that, I can thoroughly say I'm never doing it again. But there were some pretty interesting things I realized while watching them. One thing that surprised me was the fact that these ads aren't just from low-budget companies no one's ever heard of. I noticed lots of the top games even follow these horrible trends. Usually, they're not following the absolute bottom of the barrel ones, but they are still using some of the very lazy tactics. Angry Birds? Really, Angry Birds. You're better than this. Like, this is a Candy Crush ad. They're not starved of money. They clearly have the budget to do more. Is that the second one? Wait, do they have multiple ads like that? And all of these big companies resorting to these tactics made me realize that these aren't just ads that are used by outlier scam apps that are made in a week in someone's basement. It shows a huge shift in the way major companies have decided to advertise to people. Again, the ads I've covered in this video, surprisingly and sadly, work. You could think that they work because they're so bad that they just get people to talk about it for them, right? Like the video that I'm making right now. However, that's probably not the reason. That's not really an effective way to carry out the game's marketing. They get millions upon millions of impressions, where the viewer can directly click install from that ad. When someone reposts the ad, half the time they're reposted somewhere, you don't even know what game they're a part of. So these companies, every single time, would choose to make an ad that's more... No! Okay, he's just there now. So these companies, every single time, would choose to make an ad that is simply most effective for actually getting people to click, instead of doing some meta strategy of getting other people to say, this is so bad, you gotta check this out. Most advertisements we're used to outside of the mobile gaming industry are trying to convince you to buy something, or invest your time into something, or both, invest your time and your money. Like going to a movie or watching a show on a streaming service you don't own. You have to 1, pay money for access to the media, and 2, now that you've sunk money into it, you're gonna have to give some sort of time commitment. But virtually every one of these games that's being advertised is free. And in terms of time investment, you can just try the game out when you download it and then figure out how much time you want to commit from there. I mean, you can put it down at any moment. This means that unlike a lot of other forms of advertising, they don't need to try so hard to convince you their product is actually good, since you're not really risking much. You're just 1 click away from a download, and once you have the game, you're generally 2 clicks away from buying something. Since they need a click out of you, the best thing is to get you to react. The emotional response you have to these ads sticks out way stronger in your memory and gets you to sort of stop what you're doing. Now, once they actually have your click and you're on the install page, you'll notice that this is where all of the details come in. This is where they start showing you what the actual gameplay looks like, and they start filling in those gaps of missing information. This is the part where things start getting more coherent. Because you're already invested, they already have your attention, they've won that part, so now they can actually start to look presentable. So with all of that being said, these ads don't need to be the most compelling things on planet Earth. We're used to advertisements selling things to us, telling you why you should buy it, why it's trustworthy, why this thing is good, but that's not the purpose of these ads at all. They wouldn't perform as well if that's what they set out to do. The purpose of these is not to lead anyone into thinking they're actually good, it's just to generate enough of a response out of the person watching it, to get them to download so they can find out more themselves. But yeah, watching 1,000 of them was interesting because I got to see some patterns and I got to see some horrors beyond comprehension. Quick, shock, I'm gonna end this video